All right, in this episode, we break down Jake's mechanics.
And is the shuffle, shuffle, fire drill effective?
All right, Brent Porsche, Stephen Godani here at the Top Velocity #PitchTips show, where you go to Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Top Velocity, #PitchTips, #Baseball Tips. Ask your question on the show. Snapchat as well. If you haven't been followed us on Snapchat, do that now. A lot of cool stuff going up on the story, and just been talking to a lot of guys, so something big that we're on right now. Also, too, I'll be in Houston February 21st at Premier Baseball, The Zone, and Legends in Houston for a 3X seminar. If you'd like to sign up for that, February 21st, go to topvelocity.net/Houston. I'll also be coming to Long Beach, California for March 26th for a 3X Velocity Clinic, very similar to a camp. It's just in one day. You can sign up for that at topvelocity.net under Velocity Camps, 3X Velocity Camp, and pick March 26th. Use the coupon code 3XLB to get the $500 off because it is just one day. And let's get started with the question for today. Zach Crawford asks, I was wondering if you could give me feedback on my mechanics. Love the shows, by the way. Keep it up. All right, Jake, thanks for sending your video. We'll probably put it up here and everyone can watch it. I think this brings up a good point is you've got a decent set of mechanics. We could go and nitpick things, but really you can see your movements are not explosive. So that's really what it comes down to. It's like, if you took, Kershaw and you slowed him down, or you had him throwing a warm-up pitch at, 75, 80 miles an hour, you'd probably look very similar to him. But when he kicked it up to 95, all of a sudden he's way ahead of you. So you're just in the force development or force production department. That's where you're just below average. So you can see you're not loading, initiating a lot of force off the rubber, hitting with a lot of force off front foot, which would have enhanced more hip to shoulder separation, and things would have just picked up better. So yeah, we could sit there and we could call out a lot of things that aren't happening, but to tell you the truth, they would happen if you just had more explosiveness in your delivery. If you got more power out of your legs in those movements, and then it created more separation, and then it gave you more forward trunk and during maximum X orientation. Things that we know high velocity pitchers do. You're in that area, or you're moving very similar, but you're just lacking the force production. It's kind of like, if you look at sprinting, let's just take it up another sport. If you look at like Usain Bolt, you could be like, you're jogging like Usain Bolt, but you're just not running like him. So if you want to run like him, things are going to pick up. We could biomechanically coach you there, or we could just say, man, you just don't have enough explosiveness in your body to run like Usain Bolt. That's why you're just jogging like him. I don't know. I mean, do you think I'm off?
No, I think you hit it right on the head. I think a lot of people come in here expecting that it's some mechanical thing, but I would say a large majority of people are going to learn that they just aren't moving explosively like these high velocity pitchers move, and it's a real eye opener when you see a lot of our testimonials how they transform their bodies into pretty elite level athletic machines, and so that's just. It's what it's going to take. If you weren't given it, you got to work for it to get it there, and I think that's what you're going to find out.
Right. So a lot of us we can get too caught up in mechanics, and I think we typically do that too much and not caught up enough in are we as explosive as we need to be able to take the mechanics we have and get the results we want. Of course, there's guys that have mechanical issues. They have arm path issues. They're not even if they had lower half power, they're not even allowing it to be used because their front side is too dynamic, and their upper body starts too early. And I don't really see that so much with you. I just don't see a lot of force. I don't see a lot of speed, explosiveness. Now, if I could pick that up and then I see things aren't being converted, then that's where I would get into it. But you're someone who just needs some type of, like we do with 3X pitching, you need our Olympic-based strength and conditioning programs to start to build that power in you So you start to move more dynamically through your delivery, and then ball speed goes up just on that. So that's really where you are, and that's really what I would recommend you do at this point, is go into that kind of training like we do with 3X to start to make those gains. And then of course there'll be some biomechanical improvements that need to come along the way, but right now I would not focus on biomechanics as much as I would just get more explosive. All right, so next question. Jonathan Sintez asks, to create momentum and timing for a pitcher, do you like a shuffle fire drill to a small target / catcher? All right, Jonathan, I like this because, just like, I got to be careful here because I'm a big believer of adding momentum to your delivery. I'm just not a big believer of adding too much momentum. For example, I like shuffle throws or shuffle step throws or step throws. I don't like running throws. I like, 120 foot distance throw in what I call my power drills or through one of my drills. If you can go 150, that's fine. But I don't like extreme long toss. I only see the benefits of adding more momentum or adding more distance up to a certain point, and then it becomes detrimental to what we're trying to do. And studies show that. So I want everyone, when they hear this, to understand that there is a range that I'm in. Just because I step out of the 60-foot 6-inch static stretch throw doesn't mean then how can I say I'm anything but that and shoot down a running throw or shoot down a extreme long toss. There's a range I'm in, and that range ends at about 150 feet on distance and about a shuffle throw, if you want to call it that, like you showed an example. That's where it ends, and there's a lot of value in it. Okay, so let's go back to that. So a guy who is just not feeling or not being able to put the momentum into the mechanical movements that we want, he does need to get a feeling of more momentum. So putting him in a step throw or a shuffle step throw, just basically 2 steps to get some momentum. I think anything past 2 steps, it starts going to run and it's ridiculous, and then you start having to decelerate your lower half as opposed to accelerate your lower half. If you want to check out that video of breaking down running throws, I had a little legal issue with posting it up, but I really don't care. If you want to see it, just search why running throws do not translate to the mound on Google, and you'll probably find it. And working on getting it back on YouTube when the legal issues clear up. But you'll see why I don't like the running throws, and I technically break it down so you can understand how it technically breaks down from the pitching delivery. But so getting a guy in a 2-step throw where he, even in that second stride where he's picking up momentum, he still can use the lower half as it needs to be used in a static throw on the mound, but it gives him a more sense of momentum to help him understand, that's how the parts move with momentum. If not, you sit there in the static throws, and if you can't get it, we use assistance bands, we use other ways of doing that, but sometimes you get to a point where you're just not getting it, it's not processing, you're unable to connect everything, and that's where they're needed. So I like them, but don't get too addicted to them because that's not how we throw on the mound. You have to make sure this all transfers back to the mound. So doing them too long and then coming back to static throw is not going to be good because it's still a different throw. So I like to blend, 2 shuffle throws, 4 shuffle throws, 2, 4 throws on the mound, and blend back and forth until you get it. And once you get it, you don't need those shuffle throws or step throws anymore. But I like them a lot as long as you're in those ranges and as long as you're blending them in with your delivery or your static throw on the mound. Anything you want to add?
Like Brent's saying with the shuffle, I think it can be something that opens your eyes to see how fast you need to move. But personally, I think you could do that probably better with the assistance drill like you did with the Make-A-Wish kid, and he told Brent once he did it, wow, I had no idea I needed to move that fast to throw 90 miles per hour, and that kind of just opened his eyes to, hey, this is how fast I need to move. But then you need to build it, be able to move your body that fast, because you're not going to be on the mound, and someone's not going to be pulling you, and you're not going to be running on the mound, and you're not going to be shuffling on the mound. So I think it's something that just shows you, okay, this is how fast I need to move. Now let's teach myself to be able to move that fast from a static position.
Yeah, and if you see my level 1, it's, the Ace Pitcher Handbook and the 3X Pitch Velocity program is just a lot of learning the lower half movements, very simplified. And then, of course, there's some drive drills in there that simulate a little shuffle step throw. But really, level 2, I bring in the assistance spans, I bring in the pulling, both in assistance and resistance in the hips and the delivery, which are going to help that. In level 3, I use sleds, a lot of sled work, really to get you to understand the resistance aspect. But then I bring an assistance band and the torsion throws. So I start using that concept, and then in the preseason we blend in the shuffle step throws and to help us get it to our full delivery so we can get it into season. So there's a progression through our programs on how you'll be using all this. But yeah, a big part of the programs. All right, good question. If you have another question, go to Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat @TopVelocity. Hashtag pitch tips. Ask your question. We answer it on the show. If you haven't already, go check out topvelocity.net. The 2X, 3X programs. This camp's coming up. We got only a few guys in the February camp. These are great camps to get into. We don't get a lot of guys in these camps because it's season. Because when summer comes, we're going to be pretty much full with campers. So I would get into them now. Go to topvelocity.net, sign up for those camps. If you have any questions, reach out to us, and we'll see you in the next episode.